proactive, you care about your neighborhoods, and I appreciate that and respect that, so thank you very much for being here. I too want to just give a little shout out to Daisy Gonzalez. I did see her, the night before she died at Ed Joyner's fundraiser at Brazzi's, and now that I know, I had the unique pleasure to walk her to her car. And she had some really, really great advice for me. She really cared about the future of our city, the children in our city, and she'll be greatly missed. So to Daisy Gonzalez, rest in peace. Thank you, Alders Colon, Rodriguez, and Reyes for hosting this forum. I just wanted to introduce myself first. My name is Marcus Packer, and I'm running to become your next mayor. And the reason why I'm running for mayor is because I believe New Haven needs a fresh new vision. I believe New Haven is not going in the right direction, financially, from an education perspective, from a public safety perspective. But before I get into those three things, let me give you a little background about myself. I'm from New Haven. I was raised in New Hallville, but I also spent some of my formative years over on Vernon Street, Vernon and Congress, where I attended Edgewood School. I went to Edgewood, Sheridan, and James Hillhouse High School, where I graduated in 1995. I went on to Hampton University to earn my political science degree in '99, and I came back home to earn an MBA from Southern Connecticut State. I have extensive experience in business, marketing and advertising, workforce development, as well as community development. And I think New Haven right now needs a leader with a diverse set of background and skills. I think New Haven is tired of politics as usual. I think New Haven is tired of political platitudes and being told that everything is rosy when it's not. I believe New Haven needs honest dialogue about what's plaguing our communities and what's plaguing our city. Right now, we talk about public safety. Well, I don't know where you live, but around the places where I used to live, I hear gunshots all the time. When I go knocking on doors in the Hill, on Daggett Street, or Rosette Street, or Congress Avenue, I hear folks telling me that they see a lot of violence. And all of it may not be violent crime, and all of it is not the fault of Tony Harps. But what we need to start doing is starting to have an honest conversation about how we're going to make our community safer for our children. Okay? When people are being dragged out of their cars and beaten in the street, there's a problem. When the EMS are the first to show up on the boulevard and Elm Street, that's a problem. When people are being shot in their homes, that's a problem. Okay, so no matter where you live in this great city, we have work to do. I'm here to offer a fresh new perspective, a perspective that's based in progressive realities that we all knew existed, but somehow we've forgotten. Okay? Right now, we need someone that's going to stand up for our communities, stand up to the political structure and say enough is enough. Okay, so right now I'm going to offer you a couple of alternatives. When we talk about education, the mayor touts a lot about graduation rates. Well, I don't think graduation rates should be the only measurement that we look at when we're looking at student success. I'm thinking about not only the kids who graduate college, but the kids that also graduate college, that graduate some type of post-secondary opportunity, whether it be a trade school or a technical school as well. Okay, because right now our students are failing. As a matter of fact, they're failing so bad that they had to lower the standards on the New Haven Promise because too many kids were losing their scholarships. Now, some of us may call that progress. I don't. And I think that we need to have a tough and honest conversation about that. We also need to look at programs that I am proposing in my platform concerning finances. The Board of Education is looking at a multi-million-dollar deficit, which began under Superintendent Harries. I know the mayor and the superintendent, current acting superintendent, have been working very, very hard to alleviate that debt, but unfortunately not enough has been done. As a matter of fact, because of the state budget crisis right now, the city will be receiving far less educational money than in previous years. My sources up in Hartford tell me upwards of $50 million. Now, people haven't mentioned that yet, but layoffs are coming, okay? Student services are gonna have to be cut. Okay, so what we really need to do, instead of just painting rosy pictures, is to start again, honest conversations, stop treating the voters like they're quiet sheep, and start telling them like adults that we have some work to do in our city. When we talk about alternatives to college, we all would like for our children to all go to college and receive good paying jobs so they can take care of their families. However, not all children are college bound. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of plumbers out there, we have a lot of carpenters, we have a lot of electricians, folks that are good with their hands. Why don't we promote a school or have a school where that is an option for them? okay? Because I know a lot of those folks make a lot more money than professionals do. So we need to make sure that we're not stigmatizing our students who do not want to go to college, but offer them alternatives to education in the public school system as well. Very quickly, I'm going to talk about economic development in our city, which there has been a tremendous lack of community development. When I look down Howard Avenue, when I look down Kimberly Avenue, when I look down Dixwell or Grand Avenue, I don't see any dollars that have been invested into our communities. What I see is failed projects, like the Church Street South project, like the Hill to Downtown project, like the Live, Work, Learn, Play project, all of which have not been completed under this administration. That to me shows a lack of foresight, because I believe when you invest in your communities, then your communities will invest in you. Okay? What we need to start doing is providing more workforce development opportunities, beautification projects in our city so we can uplift our communities from the ground floor. What we need to do is start getting back to basics. Okay? Politics is about people. And personally, I don't care too much about politics, even from what I've seen right now, but I care about people. And I'm passionate about helping New Haveners. That's why I'm running to become your next mayor. Let's talk about finances for a hot moment. The finances in our city are in a mess. In a year where the mayor knew that the state would be giving us less money because of their financial woes, they're looking at a $2 to $5 billion deficit over the next 2 years. The mayor decided to raise the New Haven's budget by 6%, or $30 million. To me, that's downright irresponsible. We can no longer afford to play politics with people's money. We need to be better stewards of the taxpayers' dollars. We need to make sure that we're actually putting ourselves in a viable position, in a reasonable position, to lower taxes for our small businesses and homeowners, because at the rate it's going right now, Connecticut losing 25,000 residents a year, New Haven is in very, very high jeopardy of becoming one of those towns where we start seeing a decrease in population instead of an increase. So what I want to do is implement a stronger fiscal policy. I want to start holding department heads accountable and do a line-by-line budget analysis for every department head to see where they can cut waste, to see where there's duplicative programs and services, to see where they can make cost savings so we can eventually pass those savings on to taxpayers and business owners. To me, it makes sense. To others, it doesn't. But I strongly believe that the tax and spend policies of the Harp administration are no longer viable. And we all have to be very realistic about that. So, concerning visionary leadership, the mayor mentioned her seed thing, and quite honestly, I think that right there is showing a lack of vision. What we need to start doing is bringing more young people into the political process. What we need to start doing is grooming the folks that are interested in being involved, and so we can make the leaders of tomorrow a reality today. That's why I've started my Millennial Task Force, which is focused on bringing young entrepreneurs, young business people, younger families and college students into the political process by developing the policies today that's going to help them and their families tomorrow. We need to invest in our young people. We need to invest in our communities. I'm not up here giving you political platitudes, and I'm looking forward to the question and answer period so I can address some of your specific concerns and the way I'm going to take New Haven into the future. Thank you very much.